Please join me in welcoming Dr. Sudhir Dixit.
Thank you very much for the nice introduction. So we are good to go after lunch. I hope I'll make my session interesting because I don't have too much of maths, and it's not theoretical in the presentation. And the main reason is that there is not much of theory behind software-defined networking and network function virtualization. So before I begin, let me ask how many of you come from the IT background, like having had exposure to data centers, virtual machines, and things of that sort? Nobody. How many of you come from a telecom background? Those who have been very active in LTE or 3G networks and all that. Okay, very many of you. But are you also familiar with what is happening as far as the cloud, applying the cloud technology, 5G, cloud technologies, big data, and virtualization is concerned to telecommunication networks? Is any one of you involved with the role of these new technologies in the wireless networks of the future? Seems like nobody is. So that is kind of interesting. So you'll find this particular session quite interesting. I'll keep it at a reasonably high level, so you get the key messages and what the potential is for some of these technologies when it comes to telecommunications and wireless networks. I won't go into the details of the protocols, the interfaces, and implementation standards, and so on and so forth, and keep it at a sufficiently high level so you take a few messages from the presentation at the end of it. So I have about 1 hour 45 minutes, and I think that's quite sufficient for the number of slides that I have here. So here is the outline of my presentation. I'll give you a little bit of a background before we launch into the application of SDN, open flow, network function virtualization to 5G. Before I go into that, I'll talk a little bit about what is happening as far as the IT industry is concerned. Then I'll spend a little bit of time on ITU's vision in 5G. What ITU's vision is as far as the 5G technology is concerned. Then I will go through a number of SDN NFV standards and open source activities that are going on around the world. How SDN and NFV integrates with 5G, what are some of the ideas that people are talking about. Just to tell you, there are no implementations. These are all ideas that people are talking about when it comes to 5G, or maybe there are some smaller pilots or trial networks happening inside the labs or in limited deployment scenarios. Then I will spend a little bit of time on selected use cases of SDN NFV. How do we use this cloud technology as well in radio access networks, virtualized CP, AE, and virtual enhanced packet core. Then spend a little bit of time on interoperability with legacy mobile telecom systems. Finally, some challenges facing SDN and NFV for 5G systems, and concluding remarks and some key messages you take away from this session. Okay, so some basics. So let me spend maybe 10 or 15 minutes on virtualization. So it's a 101 virtualization. So before going into it,